Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the French Tier 10 Tank Destroyer, the Foch 155. Now the Foch 155 is a tank destroyer that has two types of guns. You're only going to see one of them in this replay, and that is the 155mm, because that 155mm is absolutely me all over. It does have a 120mm gun as well that's got a 6-shot autoloader, kind of like the old Waffle E100 type gun. But I don't enjoy that gun, personally, myself, at all, really. I just prefer absolutely slapping with this gun. And realistically, it's quite lucky I got these replays, because it's kind of relevant now with the T58 Heavy being out. And that's because naturally, this gun is very, very much like the T58 Heavy gun. It's got a 5-second intra-clip, as opposed to the T58 Heavy's 7.5. It's also got 293 pen on its standard AP rounds, 276 on the T58 Heavy. But it's also a little bit faster, and its reload is worse. But I think its accuracy is actually technically better, though. But I really do enjoy the Foch 155. I just have it's probably a weird enjoyment of it, but I just like how hard the gun hits at 770 alpha. That is a difference between this and the T58 Heavy as well, is that this tank obviously has 770 alpha as opposed to the T58, which has 750. It's only 20, so it's not really too big of a difference, if we're honest. But it just, it's slight differences. And naturally, this tank doesn't have a turret, so it's a little bit less flexible than a T58 Heavy. But the T58 Heavy is slower than this tank as well, and this tank has, better top speed at 50 kilometers an hour. T58's what, 30, 35, something like that? So yeah, that is something that you have with this tank, is you have the speed, you have pretty damn good camo, and then this gun, which is not that bad in total, to be honest, it's pretty damn nice. You do have armor in the Foch 155, but it's negated by the fact that it's got a big ass cupola on top, which is fairly easy to pen for everybody, and it tends to get wrecked, unfortunately, for it. Which is, well, I mean, naturally the T58 Heavy also has that problem where the turret cheeks are garbo, right? And they get penned really easily. It's just something that it suffers from. It's kind of like a balancing factor, really, for the gun, because having this sort of autoloader where it's, 2300 alpha in a clip, it's got to have something balancing it. And the 5-second intra-clip on this is definitely a lot nicer than the 7.5 second, because you can really catch people out. And more often than not, you have a chance to get that second shot off, where sometimes you don't quite get that in the T58 Heavy. But I really do enjoy this Foch 155. I think it's a very, very solid tank destroyer that can do some pretty significant damage when you get it in a nice little position. So in terms of a crew on the Foch 155, I do tend to run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Trap Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. I run the Camouflage Expertise and Muffled Shot just to make the camo that little bit better and trying to help me stay on spotted when I do fire, if I can. And I run Run and Gun and Steady Aim just to make the gun better at firing on the move and 10% more accurate in general. And in terms of equipment on this tank, I do run optics, a gun laying drive, and the camo net. Camo net, again, to make my camo pretty damn nice. The GLD to make sure that this aim time, which is pretty long on this tank, well, just make it so that I can get this gun in on target as quick as humanly possible, so I can get the damage out quicker and not have to stick around, and then optics to be able to spot for myself. So as you can see in this first game, we're up to 6.3k damage with 427 assistance, 4 kills, and it's a little bit awkward. It's been a very awkward game. Unfortunately, we ended up getting a lot of our hit points taken away from us because we pushed just a little bit too aggressively. We definitely pushed too aggressively. So what I'm trying to do now is back up into a position where I can try and help this heavy tank that's pinging SOS at the minute. If someone pulls back round the corner at F3, from here, behind my bush, I will be able to shoot them if they attack this Cranvarn and stay unspotted. And that is a key thing, because I don't have any hit points anymore to take a hit. So if I can try and stay stealthy, that's what we're going to do. So the Cranvarn's currently attacking, which means that they aren't actually pushing up and giving me a shot. The WZ1 level 1-4 goes in. I can't be aggressive at this point because, well, I just don't have the hit points. And then this light tank appears up from behind us. It's like, oh god, what are you doing here, G-Saw? Oh, this is awkward. I'm a turretless tank destroyer against a light tank. Fortunately, he bounces off our front there, and then he starts sticking to our side. Someone tries to take a shot at him and misses, but he makes the mistake of trying to reverse. We repair our driver, and yeah, he's made mistakes here. And you know, we get the kill in there. He made mistakes backing up there. He should have tried to turn around and get his front round, and then he would have been able to actually survive that encounter. But we fortunately enough got there to get the shot in to kill him. We managed to juke the artillery there as well, and yeah, we're now up to 5 kills. And again, we're reloaded. I'm just saying, hey, spot these guys around this corner, and I will cover you, you know, and I will shoot them on this corner if I can, because this is the perfect place for me to get the shots. We pull forward a little bit, and we end up spotting this M103. It's like, well, don't mind if I do, Mr. M103. We get one shot into his track there, which tracks him in place, and that's where the 5-second intro clip is a lot nicer than 7.5 seconds, because that meant we could actually double tap him and finish him off, which is great. So currently it's 5-5. It's very, very equal on the score sheet. We've just secured ourselves a top gun. We're on 7.8 thousand damage, which is delightful. And we're just waiting for our reload to go. And we know where 2 of the heavy tanks are, the 780 and the Type 5. They're both spotted there. And you know what? While we're getting this reload in, I'm going to eye this standard B to go try and help my tank destroyer that is sat in the base. Because doing that, hopefully, we will be able to stop them killing that guy. So we're just going to pull up over there, aim it in a little bit, and slap the shell in to shut down the standard B, which puts us on our 7th kill of the game. We have 2 rounds left, and there's 2 heavy tanks that are both one-shots. Now I'm thinking, the Type 5 doesn't have to pen me to kill me. He only has to splash me. 780 might be coming round. I know there was something along the E line, so you know what? I might go and spot for my tank destroyer so that he can shoot it. I've slid down this ridge a million times before, and nope, physics said no. We blow up, and unfortunately we lose the game just because of our bad driving. But we finished the game with 7 kills, 8k damage, the ace tank of the Devastator, top gun, high caliber, 1120 base XP on a loss for the Foch 155. That could have been a big game if we'd not managed to kill ourselves on that ridge. I've slid down that ridge so many times, and I've never lost any hit points. And the one time I really didn't need to lose hit points, I did, and I blew up. Sad times, bad mistake. I shouldn't have done that, really. I should have probably taken the safer route, or I should have just attacked the 2 heavies. I was probably overthinking it, if we're totally honest, and I thought, oh, well, you know, I'll die to these guys. I should have probably gone back round the lighthouse, and therefore could have tried to catch out both the 2 tier 10 heavies. But hey-ho, that's life. It just happens, right? And you can just get out of the game like that sometimes. So we're on the second replay. In the second replay, we are on Fisherman's Bay. And on Fisherman's Bay, we are going to go to this position here at F6 on the mid-ridge, and we're going to try and start pummeling some shots to people as we're crossing to the town. But we end up spotting this Carnarvon Action 10. I put one shot straight at the front of his turret. It doesn't go in. Second shot does, because we go straight through his cupola, and then we're trying to see the Lerva. The Lerva has the same weak spot that the Panzer 7 has, by the way, on the gun mantler, where if you hit it just to the left at the top of the gun mantler, you can actually pen it. It's like an armor hole. And we aimed for that, and unfortunately we didn't get the shot into that position. It went red, and you could see where it went red, but it just didn't go through. Same as shooting the Carnarvon Action 10 as well in the turret front. We were trying to basically pen it in the turret front, where I know it's like 240 effective. I have 293 pen. I thought I'd be able to go straight through his turret front, but it didn't quite happen. You did see me raving out a little bit there. Sorry, there might be some wiggles in this game. That's just me raving to music, okay? Don't judge me. Camera wiggles for the music base, bro. Okay. So yeah, we are loaded. The Lerva's moving across. I'm thinking, can I get the shot into the Lerva? No, okay. It's like, well, hello, Mr. Carnarvon Action 10. You may hit me for 220 or 230. I hit you for a lot. We managed to shut down the Carnarvon Action 10. And it's like, oh, hello, Mr. Udez 1405. Don't mind if I kill you then, sir. And we get rid of that tier 8 medium tank, just like that. Again, that is another one where the Foch gun, the Foch intraclip, is a little bit, well, it's definitely nicer than the T58 Heavy's intraclip, because I don't, well, if I was in the T58 Heavy there, I don't think I would have got the kill on that Udez. He would have got away to safety before I could have killed him. Whereas with the Foch, because it's 5 seconds, we just had enough time to get that shell in to shut him down. We are just waiting for the reload again, because the reload on the Foch 155 is a long boy. It does take a little bit to get the shells in. Now we're nearly loaded. We're going to try and get the gun aimed in on target, but unfortunately we can't quite get the gun aimed in onto that E75. Well, just before the reload goes in anyway. Because, I mean, with that GLD, we are knocking the aim time down to 2.43, which is a hell of a lot nicer than it was. But, well, we didn't reload in time anyway, so it didn't matter. We managed to bounce off the weak spot of the Panzer 7 on his side little cheek that he has. But we go straight through the lower plate, because we have 293 pen. When he straightened up that lower plate, it's an easy pen for the Foch. The penetration on this tank is great, which makes it, you know, fairly easy to be able to pen that sort of thing. But now we've got one shell left. I want to make the most of it. So we're going to pop up, see if we can get a shot at this Mauerbrecher that is currently in their base. We end up getting spotted, and it's like, God damn it, what? Don't spot me. We put ourselves up to 4.2k damage with that shell into that guy. Then we take a hit from something over at the back, and it's like, okay, this is awkward. The Panzer 7 was looking for a shot at our side. The other heavy tank was trying to look at shot us. But now we are unspotted. We've managed to use our pretty good camo. I mean, because we got the camo down on this Foch 155 to 262 meters of still concealment, which is really damn good. Which means it will be a struggle for them to spot me, which is very good for us in this position on this mid-ridge, which is very, very bushy, which, yeah, again, it will make it very, very hard for them to spot us. So I'm just waiting for my team. You can see my team is moving up into the town, and I'm just waiting for them to move up so that I can possibly get some shots into the E75 or the Panzer 7 where they'll see them. So the E75 ends up sticking his back end just out round the building. We get a shot into his back end there, just looking for another shot into it, but unfortunately he gets unspotted just as we were looking for the next shot in. The Panzer 7 is in another spot where I can't quite see him. We can't see the E75 at this point, which is, yeah, a little bit sad. Just trying to angle to a position where I could try and see him, but there's actually a big building in the way, so we're not seeing him. But just as the Tornvarn gets shut down, there's actually a Object 704, and it's like, what have you been doing, Mr. Object 704 there? Okay. So we get one in, and it's like, well, I can finish you off the next one. Oh, that ricocheted. Did you see that ricochet? Blind. Yeah. We ricocheted there off the 704. He must have just got his tracks back on or repaired his tracks in time and pulled back enough so that we ended up ricocheting off his tank. And it's really funny sometimes when you do see those shells ricochet off an invisible target. You're like, oh, there it goes. Whee! You know. Sad times. But we're just waiting for the reload again now to try and help our guys out that are pushing along the A line. There's a medium tank at A8. He might push across to spot the guys that are camping at B2. There is a Turan back there. We know there is, which will be fairly awkward to face because, well, it's a Turan and it hits for 1,000 nearly. He will kill us in one shot and he will be ridiculously hard to spot. And it will just be a pain in the ass to get rid of in general. It's going to be fairly awkward to deal with this. So we're just going to stay sat on this mid-ridge. Essentially, we're going to play our Tank Destroyer role. We're going to wait for the enemy team to basically get spotted. Because that's all we can do. We don't really have the hit points to sponge a shot from something like a Turan. We don't really have the view range. We have the camo, but we don't really have the view range. And I don't want to get spotted at this point, essentially. We're in the perfect place to counter a push for our base, and we're also in the perfect place to counter them trying to defend their base. Unfortunately, the first shot was snapped at the 704 missed, which is really sad. The second shot goes in to shut him down, and the third shot goes straight to that Udez 03 for 695, was it? Something like that. And we're up to 6,900 damage with 3 kills. We're just in the perfect place, and just after a fight, I was kind of sad that that shot on the 704 missed, but we're just going to keep waiting for our reload and keep trying to get the shots in. We end up knocking this tree down, which should give us a bit of a camo boost, as well as the bush directly in front of us. The bush directly in front of us will also give us a really nice camo boost that should hopefully keep us unspotted when we fire at these guys crossing. The 705A gets spotted, and it's like, okay, you know what, let's leave the shot. And naturally, the place where I decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to shoot right here. The place where I decided to do that, there was a big rock in the way, because of course there was. Stupid idiot, look where you're firing. But we do get to shut down the 705A. Now the Mauerbrecher gets spotted up crossing towards our base, and we shut down the Mauerbrecher. That's our 5th kill of the game, 7.3k damage. We've only got 3 standard shells left. 3 standard shells of AP, and we are currently capping. Our 2 guys are kind of hull down at the minute. They're in the perfect place where they can actually stay hull down to cap. But our Conqueror gets shut down by the Tyrann. And it's like, how did the Super Conqueror get shut down there by the Tyrann? Surely they're hull down, right? They can't be getting shot from, like, B2 from there and killed. And then I get spotted, and it's like, hang on, how have I been spotted? Wait a minute, it must have been the machine catching a glimpse of me from somewhere, somehow, right? Surely, how did I get spotted there? The TD is crossing A4 into try and get a reset on our cap, the Udezo 3, and it was actually the Tyrann. The Tyrann was at D6 and managed to spot me. I couldn't see it, which is mental. But we do manage to get a shot into the Tyrann. We've got 1 shot left. We're not going to kill him with this shot, but hopefully make him a 1-shot. Unless we ammo rack him. Get wrecked, Tyrann. And we managed to ammo rack that, so you can see I was pretty happy with that ammo rack on the Tyrann. And that puts us up to 9.1k damage with 6 kills. And again, we've got no AP rounds left. We've got 9 rounds of heat. There's just 1 tank left. It's 3, well, make that 2 versus 1 now. The guy in the cap is intending to stay there. The machine is now moving up the 3 line. So I'm hoping to be able to get into a position where I can get another shot into this machine. And I hopefully will be reloaded in time. Because otherwise it might be a little bit awkward. And it looks like we will be reloaded in time. We spot him. And good night, Mr. Machine. I finished the game with a really nice total in the Foch 155. We finished with the victory. 7 kills, 9.2k damage, 470 blocks. Ace Tanker, Devastator, Top Gun, High Caliber, 1802 base XP in the Foch 155. A pretty damn nice game for what is a pretty damn nice tank. I do enjoy the Foch 155. It is pretty enjoyable. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
Good.